Today we will try to understand the complication of peptic ulcer. Peptic ulcer is two types, that is, one is duodenal ulcer and second is gastric ulcer. Duodenal ulcer occur in the first part of duodenum, that is D1, and gastric ulcer occur in antrum area. Now come to the complication. The most common complication is bleeding. And what is the source of this bleeding? In case of gastric ulcer, the source of blood is left gastric artery. But in case of duodenal ulcer, the source is gastroduodenal artery. Now make it simple. Let it is our stomach, and here is the first part of duodenum. In case of duodenal ulcer, the ulcer is here in D1, and here is gastroduodenal artery, and here is our left gastric artery. This is left gastric artery, and it is gastroduodenal artery. This ulcer causes the destruction of posterior area, and it causes the destruction of gastroduodenal artery, and there is bleeding. So the source is gastroduodenal artery. But in case of gastric ulcer, the source is left gastric artery, as the ulcer is occur here. Now come to the second complication, that is perforation. Perforation is most commonly seen in duodenal ulcer. Duodenal ulcer erode the anterior surface. And what is the result of this? It causes the release of acidic content, and it causes pancreatitis, that is inflammation of pancreas, and peritonitis, inflammation of peritoneal cavity. And these two itis, means inflammation, is associated with most common complication resulting in mortality of patient. Now come to the third complication, that is gastric outlet obstruction. What happened here? Let it is the stomach, and there is ulcer in gastric area. There is ulcer in first part of duodenum. So what happened? There is ulcer, so followed by healing result in fibrosis. If the patient has second attack of ulcer, again healing, again fibrosis. So as there is so much fibrosis, so there is obstruction of this gastric outlet. And what happened then? So now food content is released from backward, so there is vomiting. Now come to the result due to the vomiting. So first, vomitus causes the release of HCl from our mouth. So there is decrease in hydrogen ion and decrease in chloride ion in blood. So it is called hypochlorite or hypochloremia. Hypo means decrease, chlorine means chloride, and emia means blood. And decrease in hydrogen ion in blood causes metabolic alkalosis. There is release of HCl from our mouth as well as decrease in body fluid, as food and water are releasing through the vomitus. So what happen? The activation of renin angiotensin aldosterone system occur. These causes increase retention of sodium as well as water from our kidney. And what happen during this retention of water? That it is the DCT, distal convoluted tubule cells, DCT cells. And here is our lumen. It is our lumen. So when there is retention of sodium into the DCT cell, there is release of potassium as well as release of hydrogen from these cells. Why? Due to the maintenance of charge. Okay. So there is hypokalemia, as the potassium is releasing from the blood, as well as aciduria, as hydrogen ion is releasing from the blood or DCT cells. So what we find, though we have metabolic alkalosis, acid is released from urine. So it is a paradoxical finding. Okay, in spite of metabolic alkalosis, acid is losing from the urine. So ultimately, what is the finding of in total? That is hypokalemia, hypochloremia, metabolic alkalosis with paradoxical aciduria. Paradoxical aciduria. It is the most common finding of gastric outlet obstruction. And the last complication is malignancy. We have two types of peptic ulcer, that is, one is gastric ulcer and second is duodenal ulcer. Gastric ulcer is rarely transformed into malignancy. Okay, but duodenal ulcer never ever change into malignancy. That is, it is always benign in nature.